Goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. Is anybody finding that they used to have trouble making a vocal fry sound, but now they can do it better? Is anybody finding any progress in that regard? A couple hands. My voice teachers use the phrase, it's stolen from the world of dance training. The phrase is every day a new plie. And the concept is that our bodies are dynamic and changing, and that even if we do the same exercises and warm-ups every day, our body, or in this case, our voice, is not the same every day. So we might have success on Monday and lack of success on Tuesday from the same exercises. It's because our bodies are variable and the muscles in our singing mechanism are variable. Minga 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 ming. Minga 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 ming. Minga 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 ming. Minga 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 ming. Minga 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 ming. Minga 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 ming. See if you can kind of generate a real kind of vibrating sound up in the nose area. Minga 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 ming. Minga 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 ming. Minga 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 ming. Minga 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 ming. Minga 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 ming. Minga 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 ming. Minga 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 ming. Nay 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 nay. Nay 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 nay. Nay 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 nay. Nay 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 nay. Nay 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 nay. Nay 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 nay. Nay 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 nay. Nay 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 nay. Nay 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 nay. Nay 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 nay. Nay 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 nay. Nay 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 nay. Nay 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 nay. I'm letting it, I've told you this before. That's great, Marcia. Marcia's saying she's made the most progress with the tongue trill. What was I going to say? Oh, here's what's happening to my voice. At a certain point, it wants to flip over into head voice, so I just let it. Oh, I'm in my head voice. It's in my low head voice, which has that kind of funny sound, but I'm always trying to get my head voice to go down lower so that I end up with this big area where the muscles overlap. So I encourage you to do the same. Sing as much head voice as you want to today. The more head voice you sing, those muscles get strengthened, and then you can involve them in the mix, starting lower and lower in your range, and it just makes singing the high notes so much easier. My voice is sounding like this. Try something with me for a minute. Women on this note, men on this note, see if you can sing it in your head voice like this. Goo, goo, goo. Women would be up here. It's kind of low for head voice, but I want us to start getting familiar, each of us, with what our own head voice sounds and feels like. So for me, it's this. Goo, goo, goo. And we'll go up. Goo, goo, goo. Theoretically, it'll get easier as we go higher because it's easier to sing head voice on a higher note. Goo, 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 I wish somebody had told me about the head voice and mix concept when I was a young singer. It would have saved me 20 years of frustration and straining. Okay, let's do this one. Short and staccato. Someone yesterday at the Northbrook rehearsal asked me how she wasn't sure how to find her head voice. She wasn't sure what her head voice was. So I had her do this. Down, up, down, kind of as high as she could naturally go. And I said to her, when you're at the top of that exercise, you're in your head voice. That sort of naturally happens to people when they do that exercise. And then I had her stay at the top note like this. And I said, that sound that you're making at the top of that exercise, that's your head voice. So I'm not saying that's the first time she sang in her head voice. That just might be the first time that she was sort of aware or mindful. Oh, that specific sound and feeling of muscles is my head voice. So if any of you aren't sure where your head voice is, try doing that exercise. Slide up as high as you can comfortably go like a siren, and then stay up there, and that's probably your head voice. And it might feel funny, uncomfortable, weak, awkward, whatever. If you're not used to singing up there, that's all normal. That's all okay. The more you do it, the better you will get at it. I don't know where we were. Just just light and easy. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. So here's how it's sounding for me at this moment. I'm not fully warmed up. My voice is wanting to flip partway through the exercise like this. Ba 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 ba. So I'm singing the first two notes in my chest voice are mix. The third and fourth notes for me right now are in falsetto. Ba 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 ba. Somebody's asking if head voice and falsetto are synonymous. Yes, they are. Falsetto is often used to describe what a man's voice does. It's less often used to describe what a woman's voice does, but the terms are really interchangeable. It's just referring to the lighter mechanism. There's chest voice, there's head voice for all of us, and everybody's breaking point is a little different. Chest voice and head voice, and then where we're using both sets of muscles at the same time is called mix. Some people have no mix at first. If they haven't worked on it, if they haven't made a point of it, some people might not have any mix, or they might only have a mix on one note. And the idea is over time, you get your mix to be as big as possible, maybe an octave or 5 notes or something, and then you have the option in that range of using either voice. Okay, let us jump into singing, please. Let's look at the song Imagine, which we haven't spent much time on or any time on in my rehearsals. This is one of those that is tricky. It looks tricky on the page because of syncopations. You might know the song from the recording, and then we try to sing this choral version of it, and the rhythms might be slightly different. Look at the last page, please, page 8. I think I need to wear my glasses. Some days my eyes work better than other days. Every day a new plie. Here we go, page 8. Let's do sopranos, please. Page 8 in the middle. I hope someday you'll join us. 3, 4, 1. I hope someday you'll join us. 3, 4, 1, 2. And the world will be as one. Will be as 1, 2, 3. Off. 1. Same thing again. Sopranos, middle of 8, and I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one, will be as one. Altos, please, same spot, middle of 8, ready, and I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. One, once again, altos, and I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Altos and sopranos together, middle of 8, ready, and I hope someday you'll join us. tenors, please. And I hope someday you'll join us. 3, 4. And the world will be as one. Be as one. One. Did you hear me using my falsetto? Just to make it easier on myself. Tenors again, ready, and I hope someday you'll join us. 3, 4. And the world will be as one. Be as one. One. Basses, ready, and I hope someday you'll join us. 3, 4, 1. And the world will be as one. One. Basses and tenors together, please. Ready, and I hope someday you'll join us. 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Okay, let's do all the parts. Middle of 8. 3 and 4 and 3, 4, 1, 2. 2 and 3. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. How you feeling on those 6 measures? Feeling pretty solid? It's sort of intuitive, and especially if you know the song. Let's go back just 4 measures to 52. Let's do a Sopranos and Altos together. You may say, I'm a dreamer. I'm at 52. Sopranos and Altos, ready, and you may say, I'm a dreamer. 3, 4, and 1, 2, but I'm not the only one. 3, and 4, and 1. I hope someday, and that's the part we just rehearsed. One more time at 52, please. Ready, and you may say I'm a dreamer. Off. 1, 2, but I'm not the only one. 2, 3, and 4, and 1. I hope someday you'll join us. Basses and tenors at 52, please. Basses and tenors, bottom of 7, 52. Here we go, ready, and you may say I'm a dreamer. 3, 4, 1, but I'm not the only one. And there's a tie missing on my copy. There's a tie missing on the word one. It should be tied over to the next measure. But I'm not the only one. Basses and tenors again at 52. 2 and 3, 4, 1. You may say I'm a dreamer. 3, 4, 1. But I'm not the only one. 2, 3, 4. I hope someday you'll find us. Sorry, join us. 1, 2. 2 sopranos, tenor, 3, 4. How you feeling on this section? Feeling pretty solid? Let's go back a section to 40. This is middle of 6. And I'm probably a little under tempo, but I'm wanting to kind of be precise about the rhythms, and they're a little bit easier when we do them slower. Measure 40. Let's do sopranos and altos, please. Measure 40. 2, 3, here we go. And imagine no possessions. 3 and 4. I wonder if you can. 2, 3, 4. No need for greed or hunger. 2, 3, 4. A brotherhood of man. 2, 3, keep going. Imagine all the people. 3 and 4. Sharing. Same thing again, sopranos and altos, and then we'll break it down more if we need to. Measure 40, 2, 3, measure 40. Imagine no possessions. 3, 4. I wonder if you can. 2, 3, and 4. No need for greed or hunger. 3, 4. A brotherhood of man. 2, 3, and 4. Imagine all the people. So altos, let's hear you top of 7. Imagine all the people. Last measure, top of 7, altos. 3, 4. Sharing all the world. You. So instead of going up like the sopranos, altos go, you may say. Tenors and basses, let me hear you please at 40. Middle of 6, tenors and basses. 2, 3, 4. Imagine no possessions. 3 and 4 and 1, 2. I wonder if you can. 2, 3, 4. No need for greed or hunger. 3, 4. A brotherhood of man. The ties are weird there too on my copy. The syllable hood should be tied, and there should not be a slur. It's weird looking. It should look like the women's part, the sopranos and altos part. A brotherhood of man. 2, 3, keep going. 3, 4, sharing all the world. You. So tenors, let's hear you top of 7. Imagine all. Last measure, top of 7, tenors. 3, 4. Imagine all the people. 3, 4. Sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer. Basses, let me hear you top of 7, please. Ready, and imagine all the people. 3, 4. Sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer. Let's try all the parts. Measure 40, all the parts. 2, 3, and 4, and 2, 3, 4, and a 1, 2. 2, 3, 4. 2, a snob, but sometimes when I look at these charts, I think I would have written it different. I would have written the bass part lower. Like at the word sharing. Sharing. I would have put the basses down here. Sharing all the world. That's just arrangers being snobs. It's like lead trumpet players can never say that another lead trumpet player is good. I know probably 10 world-class professional lead trumpet players, and none of them can ever say that the other guy is good. It's like they always have to say they're the best one. It's part of the system requirements for being a lead trumpet player. You have to have a giant ego to have the confidence to play those loud high notes and hang them out there for the whole world to hear. If you don't have that hubris, you can't be a lead trumpet player. You can't be meek and humble and play lead trumpet. Like the qualities are not synonymous. So arrangers are always like, I would have written it different. Here we go. Let's move back a section. How about top of 5? Now we're in another key. This is, most of this page is unison, so let's learn it together or review it together. Top of 5, you may say I'm a dreamer. 3, 4, and a 1. You may say I'm a dreamer. 3, 4, 1. But I'm... Sorry, that's not unison. To keep going and... 3, here come parts, and 2. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 2 and 3 and 4. 2, 3, key change. Now let's go back and pick it apart a little more. Let's do Sopranos and Altos, top of 5, 2, 3, top of 5. You may say I'm a dreamer. 3, 4, 1. But I'm not the only one. 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1. I hope someday you'll join us. 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. We'll be as one. That rhythm is we'll be as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and right on the and it moves. Do you feel like you're getting these parts? This is repeated in the higher key. The section we just rehearsed, a lot of it's the same notes, just up a key. One more time, altos and sopranos, top of 5. Ready, and you may say I'm a dreamer. 3 and 4 and a 1, but I'm not the only one. 2, 3, 4. I hope someday you'll join us. 3 and 4 and a 2. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. We'll be as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 2, 3, 4. Tenors and basses, top of 5, please. 2, 3, here we go. And you may say I'm a dreamer. 3 and 4 and 1, but I'm not the only one. 2, 3, 4. I hope someday you'll join us. 3 and 4 and parts. 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2. Be as one. through. So the basses just repeat their same note. We'll be as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1. Tenors go up a note. We'll be as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1. So we end up with this chord: bass, tenor, alto, soprano. One of my favorite chords of all time.
Hey, Paul.
Yes.
On measure 31, and it happens often enough. Sometimes my rest quality goes crazy, but the counting before you come in on but on 31, how do I count those rests?
You count them like this: 1, 2, but I'm not.
Okay, so it's on and of 2 that the but comes?
Well, it's not really the and, it's the E. 1 E, it's divided into 16ths. So it's
okay,
1 into 2 E.
2 E.
Yeah, I know that's kind of complicated. I've been purposely not trying to get into the minutia of the counting because sometimes I think it makes it more confusing for people than just learning it by rote. I'm not trying to disregard the theory, but sometimes just hearing it and imitating it is easier than reading complicated rhythms if you're not somebody who reads.
Okay.
So I realize that sounds a little funny. Some directors get into the 1 E and a 2 E and a.
Right. That's the way I'm more like you're saying, that I usually just get used to it, but I keep missing that but, that note. So
if you keep missing it, then maybe counting is better for you. So the way I think of it as 1, 2, but I'm not.
Okay, 1, 2, but I'm not.
Let's go from the previous phase. It's like, you may say I'm a dreamer. 3, 4, 1, 2, but I'm not the only one. 1, 2, but I'm not the only one. That's a difficult entrance to come in on the E of 2. But sometimes it's easier to just imitate than to count. But if that doesn't work, then we have to count.
Paul, on 38, where you talked about the bass line, it looks to me like the basses sing the C on the up downbeat of 4 because it's got a down staff as well as an up staff.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It moves.
It moves.
Will be as one. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for catching that. So basses, I played it wrong a minute ago. Will be as one. You have a little move. There should be a slur. There should be a slur over the whole thing. Like the slur should continue into the next measure, which makes it a little bit deceiving to read. So let's.
And then do we pronounce 1 on the upbeat of 4?
Yeah. So 1, 1. We all said the word 1 again. So thanks for clarifying. Let's go back now and everybody do your own part, top of 5. 2, 3, 4. You may say I'm a dreamer. 3, 4. But I'm 2, 3, 4. I hope someday you'll join us. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 2, 3, 4. Are you getting it? By the way, I just saw a phone call come in on my phone from a friend who is one of my lead trumpet players. Is he on this call? Is he on this Zoom and now he's calling to protest? Did one of you contact him? How we doing on these notes? I know there's some tricky rhythms, but I'm also wanting to try to get to a bunch of material today, so we feel like we're moving forward on several songs. Is it okay if we move on to another song? Are you finding the rehearsal tracks helpful? I've had quite a few people say to me that they like the version of the track where the part is louder, where it's not in isolation, but it's louder. So I'm glad if that's helping some of you too. Let's jump to the Everly Brothers medley. And the section that I rehearsed live with a bunch of you on Tuesday and Thursday, let's start with that. Middle of 13, please. 2, 3, and Middle of 13, Bye Bye Love. Here's the baritone, alto, soprano. 1, 2, 3, and 2, 3, and and 3, and So what I said to the people in live rehearsal was, what I want you to do is say, I feel like I could die, put like an H sound in there, or goodbye, my love, goodbye. There's a little break, and then an H sound. Bye, 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 love, 2, 3, and bye, bye, happiness. Hello, loneliness. I think I'm gonna cry. So a break with, and then an H sound. Does that make sense? You might be doing that kind of naturally. Same spot, middle of 13. 1, 2, I want to, here we go. 2, 3, and 3, and 2, 3, and Now, anybody want me to review their part specifically on those 2 pages? I'm sort of guessing that you've learned your notes and that we just need to review it as an ensemble, but I don't know that for sure. So some of you, if you don't be shy. If you're not getting your part, please tell me and I'll review it. Anybody need help with that? Okay, let's move on then. Top of 15. There goes my baby. So here's what I'm recommending. Altos sing at 119, altos sing the little bitty notes. I think it's on the rehearsal track that way. I can't remember. So altos would sing, there goes my baby with someone new. Altos and any tenors that are comfortable singing those notes sing the top Q notes. And then altos jump back onto the regular alto part at, he sure looks happy, I sure am blue. See where I'm talking about? You're going to be altos, you're going to be helping the tenors, in other words. Okay, let's try that. Altos and any tenors who want to at 119, the little Q notes, little bitty small notes, 2, 3, 4. There goes my baby with someone new. He sure looks happy, I sure am blue. He was my baby. Page turn, sorry. Till she stepped in, goodbye to romance that might have been So tenors, you wouldn't be singing all of that. You would just be singing the part on the tenor line. I was mostly focusing on the altos there. Same place, 119, top of 15, altos, 2, 3, and there goes my baby with someone new. He sure looks happy, I sure am blue. He was my baby till she stepped in. Goodbye to romance that might have been. Baritones, let me hear you there. Another kind of high baritone part. Sorry about that. Those of you that are real basses, this probably feels murderously high. Murderously High is the title of my autobiography coming out soon. Here we go, baritones, 119, 2, 3, and there goes my baby with someone new. He sure looks happy, I sure am blue. She was my baby till he stepped in. Goodbye to romance that might have been. I would have written a lower part if I was the arranger. So pick whatever pronoun you want at 127 and 129, where they have alternate he, she, whatever. Pick whichever one you want to sing there. Baritones again, top of 15, 2, 3, and there goes my baby with someone new. He sure looks happy, I sure am blue. He was my baby till she stepped in. Goodbye to romance that might have been. Sopranos, let me hear you. You come in the middle of the page, right, sopranos? He sure looks happy, middle of 15, sopranos. A 1, 2, 3, and he sure looks happy, I sure am blue. He was my baby till she stepped in. Goodbye to romance that might have been. It's the happiest sounding sad song you ever heard in your life. Like it's all about breaking up and missing the guy, but the music's so happy, like you don't even care. Sopranos, it's kind of an interesting opportunity for you to sing not the melody, right? The arranger was trying to pass the melody around to different parts, which is cool. Middle of 15 again, sopranos. He sure looks 2, 3, 4. He sure looks happy, I sure am blue. He was my baby till she stepped in. Goodbye to romance that might have been. All the parts, top of 15. So altos helping tenors and baritones all together, and then sopranos joining middle of 15. Here we go, 119, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. And then at 136, it's the chorus again, but they flipped the inversion. So the sopranos are up a third from where they were on the previous chorus. We'll get to that in a minute. So how are we doing on these two pages? Do you feel like you're getting your notes? It's pretty easy, right? Pretty easy. I didn't address the people singing middle. I'm sort of.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Okay, the part where the altos are singing the tenor part.
Yes.
I can't really read those notes. Could you just say what they are?
Yeah. F, E flat, D, D. So it's kind of this. Yeah, F, E flat, D, D, E flat, E flat, F, E flat, D, D. It's a similar line to what comes next. He sure looks happy.
Okay.
I sure am blue. So it's a third above the melody. There goes my baby. So it's there goes my baby with someone new. That's where it really is for the tenors. Did that help at all? Let's go back to middle of 13 and do this whole section. So make a note of sopranos, make a note of where you are in the chord. At 101, you're on this. Bye bye love, 2, 3, 4. Bye bye happiness. But then when we get to bottom of 16, you're up here. Bye bye love, 2, 3, and bye bye happiness. He added a soprano part, and the middles end up having the melody. Blah blah blah. Here we go. Middle of 13. Here's the baritones, alto, soprano. Middle of 13. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. High 3 and a 1, 2, 3, 4. Sweet caress and a hello happiness. I feel like I could die. Bye bye my love, goodbye. 3 and a 1. With someone new. 2, 3 and 3 and 2, 3, 4. 136 coming up. 2, 3 and 3 and 2, 3 and wake up, little Susie, wake up. So how you doing on all that? Am I going too fast? Too many pages? I'm guessing that you're doing well because we've rehearsed it a while and you know the song and it's not too difficult. So I'm not trying to leave you in the dust. I'm just trying to keep moving. Anybody need to review any of that I just played? Okay, let's look at the last page. Wake up, little Susie. So the thing that makes these pages fun is, look real quick. 17 is forte. Top of 18 is forte. When we get to the middle of 18, you notice there's a mezzo forte marking. And then bottom of 18 is mezzo piano. So we're just stepping down the dynamics. And then the bottom of 18, the last phrase there, 1, 2, 3, bye bye my love, goodbye, wake up. So we carry that last one into the word wake up, and we slide and we crescendo. 1, 2, 3, bye bye my love, goodbye, wake up, a little Susie. And that makes that much more exciting than if the dynamic stayed the same and if we took a breath and if we didn't slide. All those things make that kind of like the climax of the song is what that is right there. Okay? So let's start top of 18. I feel like I could die. This is forte. And then middle of the page, mezzo forte, just come down one level. Bottom of the page, come down another level, and then crescendo, the last measure, into wake up. Let's try all that. Top of 18, I feel like I could die. A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel like I could die. Bye bye, my love, goodbye. Bye bye, my love, goodbye. Bye bye, my love, goodbye. Wake up, a little Susie. Wake up. 3, 4, wake up, a little Susie, wake up, wake up. Okay, let's move on, please. Thank you for your work on that. Let's work on the Sweet Home Chicago, just for a minute. How are we doing? Do you need to get up and walk around and get some coffee? I need to turn on the air in my studio. I'm sitting in front of a desk full of equipment that generates heat. Like everything in here, when it's turned on, it's just like an oven. So in the wintertime, it's nice and toasty warm down here. But in the summertime, I got to counteract it with my thermostat, which is set on 66. And I'm wearing shorts and no shoes, and it's just right. Everybody comes down here and says, it's like a meat locker down here. And I say, it's perfect. Here we go. So I think the tricky part about Sweet Home Chicago is the one phrase where the baritones have an F sharp and the sopranos have an F natural, and it happens all through the song. And it's on the phrase, back to that same old place. So let's look at, for example, bottom of 4 going into top of 5. I think that's the first place it happens. The baritones have a 1, a 2, a 3, back to that same old place, and Sweet Home Chicago, back to that same old place. A little bit tricky note to find, I think. Here we go, baritones. So 1, 2, 3, back to that same old place, and a 1, Sweet Home Chicago. In the same place, altos, back to that same old place. 1, 2, 3, back to that same old place. Again, 1, 2, 3, back to that same old place. With the baritones. 1, 2, 3. Now, the soprano line clashes with that big time. And we end up with this chord. It's real jazzy. D7 sharp 9, very fancy. It sounds normal in the context of the song, but when you try to sing your note in that chord, it can be tricky. Sopranos, 1, 2, 3, back to that same old place. Baritones, 1, 2, 3, back to that same old place. Altos, 1, 2, 3. All together, please. 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3. Good. From the top, let's read through, and then we'll find out any spots you're missing. From page 1. Well, come on. I'll go a little bit under tempo, mostly so that I can play it accurately. 1, 2. The baritones are going to go, oh, come on. And the sopranos and altos have 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. baby, don't you wanna go? 2, 3, 4, 1, top of 6. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And sweet home, Chicago. Here comes the math section. 29. 1 and 1 is 2. 6 and 2 is 8. And come on, baby, don't you make me late. Heidi ho. 2, 3, 4. Baby, don't you wanna go? 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And sweet home, Chicago. On a dun, guitar solo number 1. We're going to insert a guitar solo there. Instead of going right into the next verse, we've got a great guitar player. We're going to let him rip for a minute. So probably 24 measure guitar solo right there, bottom of 9. It feels like a logical place for one. And if you forget, I'll be doing this. Guitar solo. Wait, guitar solo. And I'll be pointing over there to him. So don't worry about forgetting it because I will cue you. So how are we doing on 29? 1 and 1 is 2. Let's go there again, please. Bottom of 7, measure 29. 1, 2, here we go. 1 and 1 is 2. 6 and 2 is 8. And come on, baby, don't you make me late. Heidi ho, 2, 3, 4. Baby, don't you wanna go to our next favorite phrase coming up here? Back to that same old place and sweet home, Chicago. Guitar solo. I'm too literal with my songwriting. I need to do more just random math facts in my songs. Like it's a love.
Paul?
Yes.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
The F natural that we come in on back.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time finding it when you're playing the accompaniment because I can't find it in the chord that's right before it comes in. Can you help us with that?
Yeah, the arranger did a great job of omitting that note. Actually,
yes, he did.
It's way up here in the right hand, but I wasn't playing that. Sorry. It's way up here, but I don't know that really helps us. So baritones, the phrase before, baby, don't you wanna go? Here's how I find it. Go 3, 2, 1, and then it's right below 1. Baby, don't you wanna go 3, 2, 1, right below 1. I also hear it as it's the 7th of the chord, but I don't know if any of that helps. So, baby, don't you wanna go 3, 2, 1, 7, 7, 7, 7, back to that same old place.
And we got to remember to do that though while the piano accompaniment is going on, or in this case, it's going to be a band playing. So could you play those notes?
Let's try that.
And see if we can find the.
Let's try that.
The G.
Baby, don't you wanna go 3, 2, 1, 1, 7, 7, 7, back to let's try it again. Baby,
don't you
wanna go 3, 2, 1, 1, 7, 7, 7, back to that same old place. Does that help at all?
Don't know till we try it alone.
If it doesn't, I understand. Everybody kind of has their own way of finding a hard note. I find it by either singing down the scale with numbers or by knowing a chord tone. So I hear this as 1, 3, 5, 7. So I hear it as 7 of the chord, but I realize not everybody thinks that way. It also could be, baby, don't you wanna go 3, 2, 1, 7. So those are two methods that I use. Another method people use is just they memorize the sound. Baby, don't you wanna go? Here's this note, and then here's my next note. The other thing that makes it hard, Dave, is that it's a tritone. Tritones are famously hard to hear.
And no one's come up with a good popular tritone going down. There's a bunch of them going up, like The Simpsons and Maria.
Maria.
Dave, I think that you should come up with a mnemonic or a whatever.
Okay.
To help people find a descending tritone. If you do that and you patent it, you'll be a wealthy man.
Oh, right. I'll never have to work again, but I'm retired anyways.
You'll never work an honest day in your life. I don't know. I wish I knew a trick that could make it foolproof. Baby, don't you wanna go back? Wanna go back. It might be one of those things that just repeating it 100 times or 50. Baby, don't you wanna go? It's also a siren in the UK. Lots of obscure moments too. So the other place we're going to insert a guitar solo, for those of you that haven't been in my rehearsals this week, look at bottom of 13. Bottom of 13, we're going to stick another guitar solo in there. It might feel like too much guitar solo, but I think when you hear this guy play, you're going to say, it wasn't too much. Because he's going to turn this song inside out.
At the very end of the page?
Yeah, the very end of the page, bottom of 13. Back to that same old place, sweet home, Chicago. It feels like a logical place for a guitar solo. Okay. From the top, at performance tempo, see how you do. And I'm going to help you a little bit, but mostly I'm not going to help you. Here we go. Pickups to 5. A 1, 2, a 1, a 2, a 3. Come on. Baby, don't you wanna go? 2, 3, 4. Well, come on. 2, 3, 4. Here's the baritone note. Back to that same old place. Sweet home, Chicago. Well, come on. 17. Baby, don't you wanna go? Baby, don't you wanna go? Here's the baritone note. Back to that same old place. Sweet home, Chicago. 1 and 1 is 2. 6 and 2 is 8. And come on, baby, don't you make me late. Hidey-ho, 2, 3, 4. Baby, don't you wanna go? Here's the baritone note. Back to that same old place. Sweet home, Chicago. Guitar solo. And so on, guitar solo. After the guitar solo, here we come back in. The last 3 notes of page 9. Well, come on. Here we go. A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3. Well, come on. Baby, don't you wanna go? Well, come on. 2, 3. Baby, don't you wanna go? Top of 11. Here's the baritone note. Back to that same old place. Sweet home, Chicago. And moving to is 9, 9 and 9, 18. And look there, brother, baby, and see what I mean. Hidey-ho, baby, don't you wanna go? Here's the baritone note. Back to that same old place. Sweet home, Chicago. Guitar solo number 2. doing it. If you just watch Dave, you can feel it. You can feel the heat. Now that's halfway through. Right there would be halfway through the solo. It's 12 bars. He'll go around again. And then we come in at 65. Dave, I appreciate that. Dave and I did not plan that, by the way. That was just spontaneous joy. Here we go. Pickups to 65. That's another good book title. 1, 2, top of 14. 2, 3, try not to have any fun while you're singing this. 2, 3, 4. Baritone, back to that same old place. Sweet home, Chicago. Back to that same old place. Sweet home, Chicago. And oh yeah. Let's check these notes. So baritones, the whole last page, top of 16. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Back to that same old place. Sweet home, Chicago. Oh yeah. But it's part of this chord, which makes it hard to sing, hard to hear. Oh yeah. But the sopranos are doing this. That's what we have. But when you hear it together, it sort of makes sense. Baritones. Oh yeah. Altos. Sopranos. So here's the baritone note. Here's the alto note. Here's the soprano note. 1, 3, 4, 1. That sort of makes the other phrase seem easy now. Back to that same old place. Now that sounds completely normal compared to this. Let's do everybody top of 16. Back to that same old place. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. And a 1. Sweet home, Chicago. 3, 4, 1. So for the baritones, Chicago, you're going down a half step. Oh yeah, Chicago. Oh yeah. Altos, Chicago. Oh yeah, Chicago. Oh yeah. And then sopranos. Chicago, oh yeah. I don't know how to tell you an easy way to get your note. So try your best, and if you sing a different note that's in the chord, guess what? It's okay. This should not cause any stress or anxiety in your life. Do the best you can and don't sweat it. If you can come up with a device that helps you hear it, please tell me or tell us, because your device might help somebody else. The methods that I use are more derived from college level theory and ear training, and I realize that might not be practical or accessible. So the ones that I use that help me may not be helpful to you. I think numbers, I think scales, I think chord tones, I think intervals. That's my own sort of hierarchy of devices to help myself find a note. Anybody have a trick that's working for them that they want to share?
At least for altos, that middle C is our home base note. All altos know how to find middle C.
Yeah, that's good.
That feels good. Middle C feels good to us.
Yep.
And I just listen to the rehearsal tapes until I get it, till it's in my head.
That's a trick too.
Yeah.
Hey, we got like 8 minutes left. Let's jump over to will you perhaps still love me tomorrow, perhaps? The song that the title doesn't match what my memory of it is. Will you love me tomorrow? Will you still perhaps love me tomorrow if everything goes okay tomorrow? Let's jump to the last page and then work backwards. Oops. I'll try playing all the parts, and then we'll talk about if you need parts separately, because I've been over this a bunch this week, and maybe your directors have too. Top of 10, measure 75. So we'll start with sopranos and altos. Will you still love me? Here we go. 3, 4. Still love me. And a 1. And a 1, 2. Once again, top of the page. Sorry, I hit some clunkers. Right at 75. 3, 4, 1. And a 1. And a 1, 2. Sopranos and altos only. Top of 10, sopranos and altos only. Here's the alto note. Here's the soprano note. Will you? 3, 4, 1. And 1. 4, 1. And a 1. And 1, 2. Altos, can I hear you by yourselves? Top of 10. And will you still love me? Will you still love me tomorrow? Sopranos. And will you still love me? Will you still love me tomorrow? Basses and tenors. Starting at 75, so we're going to come in on beat 4. 1, 2, 3. Still love me? Will you? 2, 3. Will you? 2, 3. Still love me? And 1, 2. Tomorrow. Just the basses. Measure 75. 1, 2, 3. Still love me? Will you? 2, 3. Will you still love me? Tomorrow. I would have written the bass part lower. Tenors. 1, 2, 3. Still love me? tomorrow. All the parts. Top of 10, 75. Here's the sopranos and altos. Bass and tenor. So it starts with the sopranos and altos. Will you, and then everybody, still love me. Here we go. 3, 4, 1. Will you still? And a 1. Will you? And a 1, 2. Okay, let's go back a section. Let's go to top of 9. So tell me now, and I won't ask again. 3, 4, will you still love me? Here we go, top of 9. I'll play all the parts and then we'll break it down. So tell, 1, 2, 3. So tell. 2, 3, won't ask again. 3, 4, will you still love me? And will you? And 1, will you? Let's just do sopranos and altos. 67. 1, 2, 3. So tell. 2, 3, 3, 4. And a 1. And a 1. How you doing, sopranos and altos? You feel like you're getting it? I know we're going kind of slow, but just want to make sure we're getting the notes and the rhythms. One time through for the basses and tenors, and then we'll call it a day. Here we go. Sopranos and altos lead us in. 1, 2, 3. So tell me now, and I won't ask again. Will you still love me tomorrow? 1, will you still love me? Will you still love me tomorrow? Hey, let's call it a day. I've had a request to play you out.
Have a good 4th, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Paul.
Thanks, Paul.
The theme.
Thank you.
Sabrina.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good to see your faces.
Beautiful piece.
Good to see you too. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.
Thank you. It was great.
Great. Very
Thanks.
helpful.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Alan.